We have with us today the amazing, the incredible, the fantastic 4 first persons to enter the Lens program. And they are the filmmakers of The Spider Within, the first production of the Lens program, about which we will talk a little more later. So we have Jarelle, Khaila, Joe and Clara. Welcome to Annecy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Great
happy
to be here.
Yeah.
So you're just out of the world premiere of your first co-production, let's say. How did it went? How did it go? How was it?
Amazing, right?
That was amazing.
The crowd was
crowd's
crazy.
reaction
Yeah.
was overwhelming.
The sound, everything. Being here in France is really exciting, and Annecy especially. So it was great.
We've waited a very long time to show this to the world, so it's exciting. It's exciting.
And just seeing how they responded to it was amazing.
Yeah.
The crowd here in Annecy was just amazing.
yeah.
For all of you, it was the first time in Annecy's festival?
First time
Yeah.
Annecy, and also first time showing it publicly, actually. So this was exclusive kind of premiere. So yeah, we don't want to go home.
I don't
At least
want to
for me,
go.
I'm trying to stay here.
Yeah.
A very special premiere then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
What does it mean for each of you to work on such a project with such a structure and such a production backing you?
I think it's the opportunity of a lifetime. You know, it's something that I've dreamed about since I was very little. Like I remember when Miles Morales came to print, like when he was in the comics for the first time, and it felt like I just never would have imagined I'd get to work with that character. And so it's been a life-changing experience. It's been super fulfilling, and I just can't wait to see what everyone thinks about it.
Yeah, the program was really exciting because it had a lot of infrastructure for us. So we had some lovely producers that we're going to meet very soon, and also the backing of Sony Pictures Animation. So we had a lot of resources and a big playground that these two also really played in.
For me, first of all, the program was like a golden opportunity because supervising in animation is like a big commitment. Sometimes it's like 2 years of your life or something. And so being able to try it on this kind of short program was the perfect way to try it out, see if I liked it, how I felt about it. And beyond that, being able to work on the Spider-Verse characters that I love, I was just so excited to be able to put some of myself in these characters. Because it's sadly like rare for animators to be able to work on like strong black characters in kind of mainstream films. It's getting better these days, but that was something I was super excited about as well.
Yeah, as a visual effects supervisor, I'm responsible for creating the final images and realizing the director's vision. And it has been such a collaborative project, and learned a lot throughout the short film and gave me the confidence that I needed to step into this leadership role. So yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah, knowing these guys is enough, I think.
True. Yeah.
It seems that you guys had a story before The Spider Within, but the story has changed. It's this new production, this new project has brought you to a new storytelling for each of you and also for the movie, for the film. We could say that animation was born in shorts, and this short is like a rebirth for you, but also for animation production. How do you feel reborn after this production, and what will this lead us to?
It's a beautiful question. I think when you're working on subject matter like this, mental health, like I couldn't help but to heal a lot of my inner trauma and past experiences working on a short like this. And so in a very beautiful way, like because the topic was a tough one, but a real one, I feel like I was able to grow through it and kind of heal some of that anxiety that I have. I don't really say that I have anxiety anymore. I mean, you know what I mean? I say that I deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's a different mindset. I remember when we came up with it, it felt like I very much owned anxiety. And it felt kind of fortunate to be able to work my way through that on the film. And so now I can say it's something I'm aware of, it's something that I deal with, but it's not so much intertwined with me anymore. And I think that's a really dope thing.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's like, art is so cathartic, you know? So I think it sounds like it was very cathartic for you.
Yeah.
For me, it taught me more so, you know, it was more about animation because I had worked in live action. And just to see the amount of work that goes into it, just to watch them work, he picked every single detail. And usually as a writer, I write it and let it go. But now I was able to stay on with the animation reviews, and just the attention to detail made me appreciate animation as an art form. And then also to appreciate the new Spider-Verse movie. I was like, wow, we are a part of something really big, so, but yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was, first of all, I started watching horror films because, because these two were
got
so,
you on it.
Sorry.
were so talking so highly about them. But no, they just made me fall in love with them, really. And yeah, for me, it was really sort of a journey, kind of learning and hearing about like their experiences with mental health and anxiety, but also like making this, like feeling that we're making this film for not just for like ourselves, but so that it connects and like touches other people as well, like was super important to me. But yeah, like other than that, I just learned to kind of lead a team and all the struggles that kind of go with that, and to my earlier point where I was saying that I wanted to find out if I liked this role and how I felt about it, if I could do it. I absolutely loved like working with these people on this production, and I'd gladly do it again because it was some of my like favorite experiences, and yeah, kind of just being able to see the story a bit more, because as animators sometimes we're in our little box a little bit, so being able to see what the message, what we're trying to say with the film, being closer to kind of that vision was super important to me. A great experience, yeah.
So for me, this is definitely a career-changing project. I've always been an introvert. I'm happy just to be in front of the computer. No one bothers me. But it's like throughout the years, you start to grow and believe that you have more inside of you. So I feel this experience gave me that push to step out of my comfort zone and try to be a stronger leader and prepare me for what's coming next. So.
The program is loaded, so we have to move. And just after you, we have Michelle and David that you know pretty well. They taught us with this project that life is a fight to take, whether it is to ask for help, like Mike, or to gather and get, let's say, united as equal, but stronger as one, as Sony Picture Actions told us. What is your next fight, your next struggle in animation, maybe?
Why don't you go first?
No, you've been going first, directing more maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of like Joe said, I fell in love with the role, you know. So really, I want to direct more things. This was such an amazing experience for me. So shout out to Sony, shout out to Lens for giving me that and not only opening that door, but giving me the confidence that I can do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm already on other animation assignments in feature films, but I learned so much from this, and there's something so like unique about Spider-Verse. So I think my new challenge is how can I maintain that same level of innovation in everything I do, and not just fall into the same flow of writing and fitting that template. So this really raised the bar for me, and I want to kind of stay at that bar.
I like really just enjoy. So in recent times at Sony, we've had shows like Vivo, The Sea Beast, and Spider-Verse. We've kind of like focused on like black leads as the characters, and I just love working on like black characters. And I guess like I would love to be able to do more of that in the future, like whether at a studio or like out of maybe my own ideas as well. And I'd love to see like stuff like West African folklore stories and things like that. So yeah, that's maybe something. Either if you're out there, want to collaborate.
Yeah, more black characters. Let's go. You make some movies.
Yeah, so I'm currently the VFX supervisor on K-pop Demon Hunter, another Sony Pictures animation project. And it's just so inspiring to see a movie in the Asian culture. And I want to use whatever I've learned in the short project to make this feature the best. And yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys, for being with us and for sharing your horizon, your fights, and your energy. And we'll look forward to see you more in Annecy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
There are a lot of world premiere here in Annecy's Animation Film Festival. But this one was very special, a very special premiere. And we have with us to explain how this premiere was so special, Raimo Kouyate and David Schulenburg, both producers of the Lens program and producer of The Spider Within, the short that was screened tomorrow in Annecy. Welcome in Annecy, and thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
So, Michel and David, can you tell us how this premiere was so special? Because it was not a short like other ones, it was not a production like other one. Can you tell us how special it was?
Well, it was the first short to come out of a program called Lens, Leadership Empowerment for New Storytellers from Sony Pictures Animation and Sony Pictures ImageWorks.
The idea was for this to be a learning experience for these filmmakers, and what we didn't know was just what an amazing project we were going to make. So at first this was going to be a portfolio piece, and we had no idea that something like this could happen where it would be premiered at a place like Annecy. So it was really incredible.
Now the program is specifically for underrepresented voices and allowing them growth into leadership roles. So we had a writer, a director, a visual effects supervisor, and an animation supervisor who all stepped into those roles for the first time, and this is the film that came out of that.
So you guys are empowering some kind of a new generation with new values, new horizons to change the animation community and the animation production. Well, I'll come back to this. Such a program didn't exist when you guys started your careers. What does this experience bring to the program? How do you fit it with the lacks of yesterday?
I think it's incredibly exciting because these type of initiatives, usually you start with juniors coming right out of school, but this was to inject leadership into the animation community, which I think would, if something like this existed when I was just starting out, it would have changed the landscape of the stories being told,
Yeah, just what I could do was bring my experience to the situation. So these were filmmakers who were starting out, and we were very cognizant of wanting them to be able to get a full breadth of experience so that it wouldn't just be this one-off thing for them, that they could take this experience and continue their leadership path. So I think for me it was bringing my experience and sharing it with them as much as I possibly could.
There is a story within the story here, or a spider within the spider, I don't know, because both Miles Morales and Lens are fighting for inclusion, for racial equity and stuff like that. Would you say that Miles has a more difficult fight, or you guys have the one? Which is the more difficult, to fight for the world or to fight in real life for inclusion and racial equity?
I think we have the bigger fight.
Yeah.
I think we have the bigger fight. I mean, Miles certainly shoulders a lot, but I think that we all know that we're just at the tip of the iceberg. We're beginning to see new stories and new voices, but we have to keep carrying this on because change doesn't happen overnight. And that's why I'm so proud of this program, so proud that Sony Animation and ImageWorks and Sony as a company would put forth something like this that has real impact. I mean, you can see it when you've spoken to the filmmakers. This is stepping them into a new area, you know, being able to step into these leadership roles and for the stories to come from them.
Yeah, I agree. Miles, you know, Miles first and foremost, he's a kid first and a superhero second, and that kind of inspires a lot of the thinking behind this. And it was an amazing opportunity for us to use him as a character in the story of Spider-Verse for this program.
But I would also say that it's pretty powerful that Miles is a superhero, that, you know, my little nephew is, you know, Miles Morales is who he's looking up to. So I would say that, you know, Miles is helping us in the real world to be able to lift up these stories and the types of people who are superheroes.
So finally, it's the ultimate goal of animation and storytelling is to find the right character to be the vector of our real fights and real traumas and emotions. So if we go back to the baseline of Sony Picture action, it's united as equal, stronger as one. Don't we see here a huge parallel with the Spider-Verse and actually any animation team?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the first film, anyone could wear the mask, right? And so it was empowering everyone to step up and be their own hero in their own way. And so, absolutely, I think that it fits in quite well.
To finish, would you have maybe a word to give to all the new generations to come, the ones that are held with lens, but also the others, the young generation in Annecy? What would you say to them for the real fights as the animation fights?
To tell your own story, and there are people out there that are going to look out for you. You know, it might not feel that way, but they're out there, and not to be afraid to tell the story that you want to tell.
And I would also say to not be afraid to let your passion drive you. You know, we're all passionate about what we do, and we found our way, and there's a way.
That's a beautiful conclusion. Thank you very much for having such strong words in the beginning of the festival. We will follow our passion, we will listen to ourselves, write our own stories, and never be afraid of asking for help. Thank you very much, Michelle and David, and have a great day on the festival.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.